I have no idea how to pronounce your name, so hopefully I'm saying it well. And I'm saying it as Mari. So just to get that out of the way. Now, this video is a direct response to your video that life is bullshit, it has no meaning, nothing has meaning, nobody cares, I'm lonely, and all those emotions that really tend to put us down, don't they? I wanna tell you first of all that you put out this video 3 months ago. I hope that in these past 3 months you are feeling much better than you have been feeling at the time of making that video. I also want to point out that in these 3 months you have come to 80,000 views, which is an amazing accomplishment for a small YouTube channel that is just starting out. Another thing that I want to point out is that I really like the effort that you put in your videos, and I can see, room for improvement, but I also see that you are very willing to learn and that you are really trying out new things, and good for you. Keep it up. It's gonna get better. Your skills are gonna get improved. You're gonna do a much better content. You're gonna figure out what kind of content you wanna create. You're also gonna figure out if you even want to create content, but that's all another topic. But it kind of builds up on what I'm about to say next. I'm talking right now. This video is completely unscripted. I have no preparation for it, except for a bit of thinking, I suppose. And the thinking that I was doing is very simply put, you reminded me of the feelings and the thoughts that I had quite a few years ago now. I am very rarely now thinking about those feelings and having those emotions like that. However, I do think about certain things and feelings that I have felt in the past, even today. Sometimes I have those peaks of happiness and I am truly and utterly blissful. Sometimes I'm not feeling the best. And over time I really have come to terms that life is not meant to be just, sunshine and rainbows every day, all day. It's not meant to be all happy all the time. I think that a lot of people are starting to understand that. Life is a struggle, but life is beautiful. Now, when I was feeling those feelings that you are feeling now, and I suppose maybe they're not the same, but they are very similar, I was in a dark place. It was something that I have come to accept at that time to be a reality that is not completely true. At the time, I also know that understanding that there's more to life and that there's different perspectives and that there is happiness, I have come to understand that I cannot accept that it is so. But I also wasn't brave like you to share my own thoughts and my own problems with the world like you did. And I think that you can see, based on the views and based on the comments of support, that you are definitely not alone and that a lot of people can relate. I don't think there's a perfect advice I can give you. I don't think there's a perfect way to handle any of those situations because each individual is unique. I was lucky enough to... Okay, let me first back it up a little bit. I'll share just a bit of that past, a little bit of that sorrow and dread that I felt at the time. When I was about your age, maybe a bit younger, I was so down that I truly felt totally and utterly alone in the world. Even though I had loving parents who were rather busy with trying to make a living for me and my siblings, who were, although loving, they didn't have enough time to really tend to, let's say, the needs that I had at a time. However, I also don't blame them, because life is cruel sometimes. Sometimes life just isn't easy. Whether it being, financial problems, or solitude, or feeling estranged, or feeling like you don't belong, it is all part of it. I think it's important that you really go through these emotions, not only specifically you, but any person that's going through this. Really feel them, accept them, and process them to the best of their ability, of your ability. And then you will come to realize, I am 100% sure, is that once you hit that rock bottom, when you think that, which might be where you have been or where you are still at, that there's just no point to none of this. However, there is. Because even if you don't have anybody at all around you, let's say that you have no friends and that you have no family, so you are completely and utterly alone. You still have you. And that is extremely important. I think one of the biggest lessons that I have had in my life is that you really matter. You, me, or any person matters to themselves. I think it's very important that you understand that you are very young and you are yet to really experience this world and this life. So just bear with these feelings, really go through them, process them, and then focus on things that you want to do. You might have a hard time finding things that you love, things that you want to do, things that inspire you, or things that simply are your calling, your purpose. So if you don't have any of such activities or wishes or dreams, then simply focus on doing something. Because in this case, doing something is better than nothing. Whether it's being volunteering work, or simply signing up to some sport activities or some social activities that are going around, that are happening around you. As simple as that. Just try things out. I'm digressing a bit, so let's just get back to it. All of these feelings are natural. If you go to a psychotherapist, or if you simply try to read some self-development books, you will come to realize that you are in a certain stage or a certain level of some kind of path that you're going to, and your mind is telling you it's time to do something. Mari, you gotta do something about the situation. And let me tell you, there's not really a lot of point in complaining or really crying so much about the situation that you are in. It is okay to grieve, it is okay to go through those emotions. However, once you are past that stage, it's time to take action. For me, what I did was specific to me. I think that each individual has their own way to process things, their own way to move in life. We all move at our own pace. So right now you are feeling that rock bottom. However, just keep going, dude. It's gonna get better. Right now you are finding very little meaning in hanging out with the people that are perhaps around you, or if you are completely lonely and there's really nobody around you, then you just find some kind of apathy feelings that are simply pulling you away from really creating those attachments and bonds that you so desperately wish for. Now, I'm not saying that out of any kind of negative way or negative place. I know that I am an introverted person, and yet I also really like to socialize and have connections and bonds and friends, because at the end of the day, regardless if you are an introvert or an extrovert, we are all social beings. We humans are simply like that. As you can see, I'm also having a hard time really giving you any specific advice because, first of all, it is difficult as each individual is special in their own way. As I said before, we all tend to handle things differently. However, I know that life gets better because I've been where you've been, and I am where I am now after years of, struggles and getting through tough things. So I have experienced the grief, I have experienced this loneliness and this feeling of simply being empty. However, it is enough to simply help just one person and you will already feel more fulfilled. And then if you go do some volunteering work more often, you will find that you will feel more fulfilled by the work that you do. And I think it's also very important that you have gratitude, that you are alive, that you are fed, that you have roof over your head, that you have this luxury of driving a car, whether it's yours or your parents, doesn't matter, but have gratitude for all the things that you have in life. I know it's a bit cliche because it's really hard to feel for the people that have it worse. However, there are people who have it way worse than you. So I also understand this feeling, and you can see that there's just so much support happening in your comment section that it should be an overwhelmingly positive reinforcement for you to understand that you are not alone and that there's a lot of people who can relate. That being said, I think you just need to keep going. There is no point in dwelling too much in this bottomless pit that feels bottomless. However, at certain point you come to that rock bottom where there's just no going down anymore, and then the only way is up. So little by little you will go back up again, and you will feel happy and connected and like you belong where you are. There is no need for you to adjust yourself to fit in with the social norms that are presented today. I think that maybe we are being way too open-minded with some of the takes on this sentence that I said. However, you need to be okay with yourself. You need to be happy with who you are. And that's not something that you can just decide overnight. It's something that's gonna happen over time. For me, it happened a few years ago. I had this epiphany moment where I realized that I'm truly enough for myself. I am completely and utterly happy when I'm alone in my utter loneliness. However, Today I have a lot of friends around me. I have a great and loving family, and I think that life gives you these challenges that you need to overcome, so tomorrow you're going to be a stronger person, a stronger individual, and a stronger character. And one last piece of advice is stop caring what other people think about you, your hobbies, and whatever it is that you find yourself interested in. Simply do you. I think your videos are great. I think you are putting a lot of effort in them, and it's visible. I think people can see the effort and appreciate it. And if this is something that you like doing, keep at it. And you will see how more fulfilled you will be over time. When you have that engagement with people, when you see all of that interactiveness happening inside the community that you're gonna build. I think each of us has our own purpose in life. You just need to find yours. And finding a purpose is no easy task. But you have time, you are young, keep going, and you'll get there. Stay well, and I hope to see you again. I hope to see another video of yours.